Assalamu alaikum, good morning, khush amdeed, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen, pakhair ragale. Welcome to World This Morning, ladies and gentlemen, on a very fine and pleasant morning with Shiza Hashmi only today. Well, I really hope all of you are in good health and also watching my show with your breakfast plates in your hand. And me emphasizing the fact of breakfast today is very important. I'll tell you why, because 2 days back probably, I was in conversation with a nutritionist and I was asking them, I'm really not habitual of having my breakfast, so is it okay, is it healthy, is it not, whatever. And she told me that in the first 30 minutes of waking up, you definitely should put something healthy in your stomach, of course, for natural circulation of your blood as well, for your good digestive system as well, and for a healthy mind throughout the day as well. So of course what I started doing, because I live in a hostel and I'm not that lucky enough for someone to prepare breakfast for me early in the morning. So what I did was I kept fruits like grapes probably or apricots in my bag, and also protein bars. Just anything. You can do this as well, even if you're going to school, if you're going to your workplaces, if you're even staying at home. In the first 30 minutes of waking up, breakfast is what you should be having. Any sort, just put something healthy in your stomach, ladies and gentlemen. Other than that, one very important thing that I wanted to talk about, because I live in Islamabad and every other day, of course, there's so many vehicles that you come across, so many people on the roads. A very bad habit that a lot of people do, not only Pakistani, actually all over the globe though, using cell phones while they're driving. Either, the youngsters usually, they're Snapchatting while they're driving. I don't know what's this obsession with showing the speed limit on your Snapchat while you're driving. Don't do that, first of all. Not safe for you, of course, not safe for the people around you as well. Some people are smoking when they're driving, and some people are also on the phones on call when they're driving. So police, what they did was, traffic police, of course, they have made this necessary for the drivers not to use phones, not to smoke while driving as well, and to wear seat belts. It's absolutely so really important for your, of course, own life, for the safety of the people in your car as well and around as well. You don't know. I mean, you can be harmful to anyone if you're not careful. The reason me talking about, road safety is because, ladies and gentlemen, if you stay tuned in the second segment, you are definitely going to learn a lot more about road safety. I promise you that. But for right now, I have some amazing, talented people from Pakistan on my show. Ladies and gentlemen, PTV loves educating you, of course, but PTV loves being a platform for the people as well who are talented, who probably don't have access to the market, but they have so much immense talent that, I mean, sometimes even Shazad and I, we are taken aback by the amount of people that we get on our show. They can sing, they can play instruments, they can write. I mean, Pakistan is full of talent, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot stop saying that. So with me today, I have a guitarist and a vocalist, and I cannot wait to actually start my musical morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome back, because he's been on the show before as well, none other than a guitarist who happens to be Zohaib Mahmood, also an accountant. Hello, assalamu alaikum, welcome to the show.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
I'm absolutely great, thank you for asking. And this time, Zohaib has actually brought someone with him who happens to be a vocalist. I have listened to him. He is, mashallah, breathtakingly amazing. None other than Kashif Daniel. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So first of all, I'm so sorry for making you guys wait, but I cannot wait to begin the show. Before I dig deeper into your career paths and how you guys started, I have really, I loved your music. So let's begin the show with one of your songs. Let's do it.
Sure.
It can be yours or it can be a cover, whatever you feel comfortable with. Let's do it.
Sure. It's a Nabil Shaukat's a new song.
Okay.
So just here.
Yeah, let's do it.
क्यों है इनकार तुमको आने से, क्यों है इनकार तुमको आने से, प्यार बढ़ता है आने जाने से, क्यों है इनकार तुमको आने से। बोझ दिल पर अगर गमों का हो, बोझ दिल पर
Thank you guys. This was so beautiful. And Kashif. So ladies and gentlemen, of course, PTV World happens to be the English state channel, but we really can make compromises if any of our guests is not really comfortable with speaking English. So right now, Kashif, मैं पहली दफ़ा आपसे मिली हूँ and माशाल्लाह आपकी आवाज़ बहुत बहुत खूबसूरत है. Do you have someone you're learning from या आप खुद सीखे हैं?
जी मैं तकरीबन मैंने पहले तो 14 साल की एज से तब से मैंने म्यूज़िक स्टार्ट किया हुआ है. तो उसके बाद फिर 3 से 4 साल हो गया मैंने उस्ताद जी के पास मैंने उनसे शागिर्दी ली. प्रॉपर्ली मैं सीख के अभी मार्केट में बता रहा हूँ.
ठीक है.
तो इसके अलावा मैं अभी और भी काफ़ी मैं जगहों पे भी मैंने गाया हुआ है. इसके अलावा मैं अभी स्ट्रगलिंग कर रहा हूँ तो इसलिए.
But of course, I mean, so what Kashif means to say is, ladies and gentlemen, he started singing when he was a teenager at 14 years of age as well. But just recently, 4 years ago, probably, he had a proper master to teach him. And now, mashallah, he's venturing into the market. No doubt, of course, he's going to do amazing. I don't know how it sounds on TV, but in real, it's just absolutely amazing. All right, now, Zahib, coming to you.
Sure.
You are an accountant, of course,
Yeah.
but you're also managing to be a guitarist. How's that working out for you?
It's quite difficult to do both work all together, but music is my passion, and I'm not willing to left one of my profession,
Okay.
whether it is an accountant job or music.
Yeah.
Both professions are important for me, and they are really mean to me.
Right, I absolutely agree with that. And you know, when we're talking about passion, a lot of people out there, maybe they're studying medicine, maybe they're studying engineering, but they certainly have a hobby or a passion. They like to paint in their free times. They like to produce or compose music in their free times, or, you know, even write something. So people have different sorts of expression, and it's really very important to do it as well. I mean, it really takes your mind off certain things. It's very soothing and calming as well. But all right, Zohaib, so because my producers absolutely loved what you guys sang, they want you guys to do another song as well right now.
Sure.
Let's do it.
शहजाद अली का सॉन्ग है.
शहजाद अली का.
किताब लिखी है वो ही है. ठीक है. मैंने एक किताब लिखी है, मैंने एक किताब लिखी है. उस किताब के पहले सफ़े पर तेरा नाम लिखा है. तेरा नाम लिखा है. तेरा नाम. ओ दूसरे सफ़े पे मैंने सीधी सादी बातें लिखी हुई बातों से भी आती है आवाज़, आती है आवाज़. मैंने जो आवाज़ सुनी है, मैंने जो आवाज़ सुनी है, उस आवाज़ के पहले शुरू में तेरा नाम लिखा है. तेरा नाम लिखा है. तेरा नाम. ओ तीसरा सफ़ा क्या लिखा, कहता शायद खुलने लगे. सदियों पुराने सभी राज खुल गए. तीसरा सफ़ा क्या लिखा, कहता शायद खिलने लगे. सदियों पुराने सभी राज खुल गए, राज खुल गए. मुझ पे कायनात खुली है, मुझ पे कायनात खुली है. कायनात के पहले शुरू में तेरा नाम लिखा है. तेरा नाम लिखा है. तेरा नाम.
Wow, बहुत खूबसूरत. And you know, when we're looking at the lyrics of these, they're so pure. And I feel not like today's lyrics. I mean, it's all about rap, it's all about Meri Gaddi and this and that, in reference to what we were listening to yesterday as well. But this was amazing. All right, so you guys are a band.
Yep, we have a band.
Okay, how many people are there altogether?
Almost 5 to 6.
5 to 6
Yeah.
people. And wherever you go to perform, because I know you go to colleges and universities and even private functions, mashallah, you guys are doing good. So you all go together.
Yeah.
Okay, so if someday someone asks, no, we only want Zuhaib, we don't want others, what will you do?
Unity is very important in a band, so it's a mean thing that if somebody is getting some fame and one of us will say, okay, I will go, or nahi yaar, I will do that. I
I'll
will do
handle
that.
it.
I will do alone. I have no need of you.
Yeah.
So just because of some fame, some money, and this is a mean thing. So we just ignore these stuff. So we will go in a unity everywhere.
Okay, all right. But you're saying that now. So you guys are now commercializing as well, getting into the market, inshallah, towards the end of this year, है ना?
Sure.
So after that, are you guys still going to be a band, or you will have different paths?
Hopefully that we will maintain this unity
Throughout
throughout
your
our
career,
career.
inshallah.
So we will go with the band.
All right, that's great as well. So now that you're working on your stuff as well, I'm not going to ask you to reveal it.
Okay.
But is it an album we should wait for? Are there singles we should wait for? What should we waiting?
Yep,
we be waiting
we will working for some songs. So hopefully we will complete an album in a year. So you will get some good stuff from us.
Of course, no doubt in that. So before we move on with further discussion, let's hear another song if you guys are ready.
Sure.
Okay, let's do it.
It's another song of Sajad Ali, because we are really inspired from the music of 80s and 90s
Alright.
and from Sir Sajad. So he's really
I'm a
a very
big
good
fan.
singer.
Oh,
Yep.
absolutely love his
Yeah,
work.
very raw material and very unique music and very raw thing, pure thing. So
लगाया दिल बहुत पर दिल लगा लगाया दिल बहुत पर दिल लगा तेरे जैसा तेरे जैसा तेरे जैसा कोई को मिला लगाया दिल बहुत पर दिल लगा ज़माने भर की बातें उनसे कह दी ज़माने भर की बातें उनसे कह दी जो कहना चाहिए था वो कहा नहीं जो कहना चाहिए था वो कहा नहीं तेरे जैसा तेरे जैसा तेरे जैसा कोई को मिला नहीं लगाया दिल बहुत पर दिल लगाने वो मुझको लग रहा था प्यार मेरा वो मुझको लग रहा था प्यार मेरा वो जैसा लग रहा था वैसा था नहीं वो जैसा लग रहा था वैसा था नहीं लगाया दिल बहुत पर हाँ ये तोहफे हैं जो अपनों से मिले हैं ये तोहफे हैं जो अपनों से मिले हैं हमें गैरों से कोई भी गिला नहीं हमें गैरों से कोई भी गिला नहीं तेरे जैसा तेरे जैसा तेरे जैसा कोई हमको मिला नहीं लगाया दिल बहुत पर दिल लगा
बहुत खूबसूरत, very beautiful. So ladies and gentlemen, you know, when I listen to such amazing singers, and especially who are so good at classic music as well, I wonder, do they have a specific routine to keep their throat in check? Of course, because imagine if you get a fever or something, a throat infection, I mean, your career is off for a week or something,
Exactly.
right? So let's ask Mr. Kashif about this as well. So Kashif साहब, जब आप कैसे, like, because आपकी classic music आप बनाते हैं और गाते भी हैं, तो गले का throat का ख्याल रखने का क्या
जी जी गले का ऐसा होता है कि हमें चपाती वगैरह इस तरह की चीज़ें नहीं खाना पड़ती ऑयली मतलब इन चीज़ों से करना पड़ता है परहेज़ करना पड़ता है तो गले के रिहाज के लिए यही है कि नीम गर्म पानी वगैरह इस तरह का लेना पड़ता है, तो गले को मतलब थोड़ा सा ना ऑयल से थोड़ा सा दूर रखा जाता है, बटर ये वो इस तरह की चीज़ों से दूर रखा जाता है.
Of course, I mean, it's a long procedure of getting where you are today. When, ladies and gentlemen, whenever we're talking about perfecting a certain kind of art, there's a lot of effort that goes into it. And when we look at musicians, and when we look at some, famous, very famous musicians and superstars, and we look at their work, mashallah, so far they've come. Of course, they have so many things that they have to care about. They have a certain, like you mentioned, a diet as well, because they cannot eat a lot of oily stuff and whatnot. So looking at all the efforts, it's not really easy. It doesn't just happen overnight that once you wake up in the morning and you're a singer. It doesn't happen. You really have to put a lot of years of hard work into it, which is why I will ask you both to please, okay, is it okay if you guys can sing to us one of your own songs that you might launch? If not, then maybe we can listen to another cover. That's amazing.
Sure.
Okay, let's do it. Okay.
It's Nabil Shaukat's song, Ja Tujhe Maaf Kiya. It's an OST of a drama series.
Yes, it is an OST, and a lot of people out there love this song, including me. So this is going to be a treat for all of us. Let's take a look at this.
जा तुझे माफ किया, जा तुझे माफ किया, दिल को तोड़ने वाले प्यार की राह में मुझको यूं छोड़ने वाले, प्यार की राह में मुझको यूं छोड़ने वाले, जा तुझे माफ किया, जा तुझे माफ किया, दिल को तोड़ने वाले प्यार की राह में मुझको यूं छोड़ने वाले, सितम है खुदाया क्यों प्यार बनाया, जो टूटे दिल का जहां, दिल इतना रुलाया के गम मुस्कुराया के अपने हैं अनजान.
Wow, this was really beautiful. All right, so guys, towards the end of this segment, I want you, Zohaib, to speak on behalf of both of you, of course, or your band. Tell me about your future prospects. I mean, 5 years down the lane, where do you see yourself?
Still, we are very fresh, so we are working really hard for a good future, for a good music career. So hopefully, very soon, in 2 or 3 years, we will do some good music, and we will create something new in the market. So we need some blessings and prayers of all of our fans and all that, the people watching us today. So we will hope for the best.
Inshallah, of course, and all my prayers and good luck with both of you, and I have no doubt in you guys producing some amazing music. So ladies and gentlemen, of course you should support your local talent as well, listen to their music as well, inshallah, when as soon as it launches. So I want you guys to wrap up this segment with a song, and then we will go out on a break while you guys are singing. Can we do that?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it.
Sahil?
It's Sajad Ali's song, Sahil Pe Khade Ho. It's a very famous song.
Of course,
and
love
a
it.
very melodious one.
साहिल पे खड़े हो तुम्हें क्या गम, चले जाना, साहिल पे खड़े हो तुम्हें क्या गम, चले जाना, मैं डूब रहा हूँ अभी डूबा तो नहीं हूँ, मैं डूब रहा हूँ अभी डूबा तो नहीं हूँ, है वादा फरामोश में तुझ सा तो नहीं हूँ, हर सुर तेरा याद है भूला तो नहीं हूँ, हर सुर तेरा याद है भूला तो नहीं हूँ, है हरज़
Welcome back to Well This Morning, ladies and gentlemen, with Shiza Hashmi, where we started our show, the first segment, with on a very musical note, and it went quite well. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you watched the show in the beginning, I told you we were going to talk about road safety. Now, sitting at your home, you might be thinking, why does Shiza need to sit there and tell me about, how to be safe on a road? Because it's so important, as basic as it is absolutely so important for you, for your family members, for the people around you on the road as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this segment, of course, we will be discussing some basic rules of road safety, yes, and also civic sense, how important it is for it to prevail in people to have a better and a safer environment on roads. And for this purpose, we've been joined by actually some very apt people. I mean, they're going to speak about so many things, going to let us know about so many things as well. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, the Director of Foods Islamabad Club, Mr. Sohail Aziz Khan. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Shiza.
But right now, today, you happen to be here in the capacity of someone who's going to school us with some civic sense, ladies and gentlemen. Is that right?
Thank you.
All right. Next to Mr. Sohail, we have someone who happens to be a civil medical practitioner. She is none other than Dr. Fatima Durrani. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, Mr. Sohail, I guess I'm going to start with you. When we talk about road safety, of course, it sounds basic. Stay in your lane, blah, blah, blah. But why is it so important for us to actually have a show about it and for people to learn it?
Shiza, it is most important thing that we should be actually starting it from the schools, from the kindergartens, actually. Because we need our nation.
Yeah.
And if the nation is not qualified, we'll be losing them by having those small accidents. From the school, we can start the kids because the kids have more potential to learn things faster.
Yeah.
And I've seen many kids even telling their parents that, Papa, don't drive fast. Or if we have to teach our children to buckle up the belt while sitting in the seat in the car.
Yeah.
Or do not open the sunroof. So the small little safety measures or little precautions, if we teach the basics to our kids, from there on, when they grow up, they'll grow up with this system. They'll grow up with this complete knowledge, and then they can correct you. And they will learn much faster. Like suppose they're coming out of the schools. We have in every street the big name of school, but none of those schools have a special pedestrian area or for the students to stop there and wait for the cars to come.
Absolutely.
And all those cars are blocking the road. And then the traffic blocks died there.
I know, yeah.
And because of that, the students, they don't know nothing. But if the students or the school teachers or the owner of those schools, they're spending so much billion and trillions to make the building look nicer.
Yeah.
How about making the pedestrian path look nicer, a little bigger, and have a little more extra parking in front of the schools, so you do not block the most important road, which is a Magla road. You do not block the most important area, which is the Beria University Road. You do not block all those main junctions where we have to wait for 20 and 30 minutes.
Right.
And we
crucial
cannot
hours.
And crucial hours.
Right.
We cannot schedule our jobs. We need to leave 2 hours early. Why? I mean, why in the world that we have to leave home 2 hours early, whereas everybody has a time frame to leave home, come to your job, and stressless.
Yeah.
We drive stressfully. When we drive stressfully, what happens? We do teach people do not do stress while driving. We do observe this thing.
Right.
And while stressing in driving, you drive fast, you cross the lane, you do the zigzag, crisscross driving. So, but if you're getting late and the traffic was blocking, let's suppose at the airport road or the express highway,
right,
how would you get to your job then? So these things should be taken out on the government level, I would say, but civilian, we have the responsibilities.
Of course, I mean, you know,
we have to save ourselves first.
Of course, I mean, when we're looking at the lawmaking and stuff, of course, laws are in place. Traffic signals,
The law
of
is
course,
there.
you're going to find them at every other corner as well. But as an individual, of course, everyone has a certain responsibility which you have to bring with you when you're coming out on the roads. It's not just about your own safety. It's not just about your car being safe as well, you know, not getting into an accident. It's about a lot of other people on the road as well. Which is why I need to move to you, Dr. Fatma. You being a medical practitioner, of course, I mean, every other day, unfortunately, this is but the sad reality, traffic accidents.
Yes.
You might have patients every other day.
Yeah.
What do you feel like happens to be the most common mistake where this goes wrong?
Well, I would really say that, first of all, if in case it comes to every other citizen, right? When it comes to every other person living in different cities, everyone would just come up with loads of excuses of why things went wrong, right?
Right.
But as a doctor, my say towards this is going to be like, if in case you do not manage your time accordingly, or you have a specific disease that you are supposed to control, like, you know, you have anger management issue, you have hypertension, you have depression, you have stress, anxiety, all of that, right? So you need to obey the rules accordingly, and you need to be in a specific direction when you actually are in a traffic route. If you don't do that, right, so you have a certain responsibility over you, right?
Okay.
So when you don't obey the certain responsibility, the rules, and you leave out all the responsibility, what happens is that you crash into another person, right? A person who's actually all by himself, or, you know, in a proper direction. Yeah. So what happens is that all of these things, it's just commencing another new problem every now and then, right? So what happens is that you have to deal with road traffic accidents in a way with small issues, right?
Okay.
Let's just say that if a person is out and about and he really wants to go somewhere and he has a certain thing or certain, you know, errand to run,
all right,
but he makes a certain mistake, what happens is that it's not just him who's actually getting into all of that, right? It's a lot of other people involved too, right? So I would say normally road traffic accidents are, let's suppose Islamabad has the highest rate of road traffic accidents in Pakistan, right? In Pakistan, Islamabad is actually, let's say, on the top for that, and we get around annually 60,000 cases of road traffic accidents.
That's a number. I mean, it's not something to be taken easily.
It is a lot, yes. A lot of cases come with fractures, of course, yeah. And the extreme cases that we've actually dealt with are those that actually end up in coma, right? Because they have spinal injuries, and spinal injuries would just put you in bed, and you have to have the rehab and everything going on. In a way, you can say that the person's lost their life already. Yeah,
Right, because
because you know you can't move and you're in bed, and you can't tell how the life expectancy is after you're into disease condition.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much for sharing the stats with us, because Dr. Fatma, you know, every other day, all of us are on roads as
Yes,
well.
yes.
And rarely so it happens that one might remember the traffic rules, or, you know, because even when you're driving, even if you're in the passenger seat, you're continuously thinking about stuff. Like Mr. Sayed already mentioned, we're driving under stress.
Yes.
Thus, we're not thinking about the people around us as well. So just one thing specifically, we don't have a concept of the zebra crossing.
No.
In some places, like around the Parliament lodges and stuff, you'll see it being painted on the road.
Yes.
But someone to observe it, God forbid, no one does that. I mean, never ever I've seen someone do it.
I think the first lane of cars is where the zebra crossing is, right? They don't stop behind it; they stop on top. Yeah, because they want to be the first one crossing the green light.
But also for the, you know, people who are on road walking, they don't even know how to use it or how to be responsible of it.
Yeah, I would mention here, there are trainings happening from the traffic police responsible officers. They are taking this initiative and making the Islamabad traffic police the best traffic police ever I've seen, ever before in Pakistan. And they're educated people, responsible officers. They behave very good with you. Now they have started giving trainings. And giving training into the different organizations. Like, for example, if you have a big organization in your employees like 250 employees to 300 employees, you really definitely need to have that kind of training there, because most of your employees coming by car, bikes, or bicycles. So the training went there, and I was surprised to hear this thing, and I loved it, the way he expressed it. He said the road talks. And most of the people like, how does the road talk? How does the road talk? He said, when you look around, it says stop. It says 60 kilometer, the speed's supposed to be.
Messages for you.
The message is there.
Right.
And this is the fastest lane. That's the mid lane. That's the least speedy lane. And the biker's lane and the trucker's lane. Does the trucker drive in the truck lane? No.
Hardly so.
Does the biker drives on the least speedy lane?
Can I be honest? Bikers are the most annoying people to exist on roads.
Actually, they're the dangerous thing
Yes.
on earth at the moment. By the record, actually. The biker accident are 2,560 recorded. You can Google it. In Islamabad.
Wow.
And the injuries are 5,640. I was reading it yesterday. And even if you question some traffic wardens that who is the most difficult to handle,
with,
they said it's the bikers.
It's the bikers. They
The
literally
bikers.
come
They-
in out of
in
nowhere.
But I'm really happy about the helmet fee now. If you don't have a headgear
remember,
on,
there
Is
was
it being
an
implemented?
yes.
It's been
Oh,
implemented.
love it.
Yes, it's
If you
already
remember,
there.
there was an accident in I-8.
Of the young guy. on
Young
the-
guy, and then there was an accident in one of the university in Islamabad, and the 50 girls were in the bus.
Yes.
And that bus
We saw
was
the video
to
for
save
that.
to save that biker. He went on the pedestrian path.
Unfortunately.
And 16 girls died on spot, and then the rest were injured. What was their fault? The parents sent them. I remember my mother used to send me with dua always. And she used to blow on me and said, "Go, God bless you, and stay safe." Our mother is waiting at home for us to come back safe.
True.
But God help us.
At the
with
expense of
all
someone
these-
else's mistake.
These bike devils, that they are the lethal weapons on your roads.
True, that is
I mean, that
absolutely
kills you like coming from nowhere. And then the signage is there, the speed lane is there. If we could have those kind of board, the signage, before this pedestrian, the footpaths, the zebra crossing thing, stop, watch, see left and right, and then walk. I think there should be a sign, Urdu, English, or any
Right.
language. I remember it was in early 80s. I was a young kid, and in early 80s, when I used to see, there was, I think it's before early 80s as well, like 78, 79, there were black and white TV and the black and white program used to come, and there was a gentleman who used to come and says, "Pehle दाएं मुड़िए, फिर बाएं मुड़ देखिए, नहीं पहले दाएं देखिए, फिर बाएं देखिए, and then you cross the road."
Yeah.
We never watched that show.
But it's informative, no? I mean, he's
It is.
literally telling you
And
what
today,
It's been
but
there since
today
then.
we need it. Today we literally need it because back then there was not heavy traffic. Back
Alright.
then we never had the bikes. Back then we never had all those rickshaws and all that. But today we need that program.
We need that.
those back again.
That's absolutely true. And you know, there's a certain reason that we are specifically talking about these things one by one. We'll come to that. But you know, when we're talking about bikers and people not staying in their lanes, but I feel like in a city or in a space where there are strict rules, of course, people are definitely going to follow. If you have put penalties on them, they will definitely. Because imagine, I think all of you will agree with me as well, coming from Murray Road, on such a small road, you will literally see 5 to 6 lines. And as soon as they enter the Islamabad Highway or Kashmir Highway, they know their rules.
Yeah, they
They're automatically
disperse.
wearing seat
Yes.
belts. They're automatically in their own
Yes.
lanes, you know, to driving straight.
Yeah.
Why so? I mean, of course, we'll get to that as well. But one more very important thing, and it is related to stress driving as well, road rage. Anything happens. If someone, you know, overtakes you, someone just looks at you, someone says a word to you, you'll get out of your car, you'll start fighting in the center of the road, not caring about anyone else. Maybe someone's getting late, maybe someone has a medical emergency. How do we deal with that?
The patience, again the training, again the training. We do say that every training starts from home.
Yeah.
And this sort of training should start from home. Because if we bugging our kids, we stop this. Calling them, where are you? You haven't reached yet. Where are you going? So, because he has to report somebody. And he's on the road, he's driving. And then when he will see something is happening on the road, he will come out of the car and to yell on the person. And that person could be rickshawala, that can be anyone.
Us as well.
Yeah, but anyone. But when you are relaxed, you know, I told my mom I'll be there, like whenever I'm there. But it's a heavy road, heavy traffic.
Right.
That's number one. And number two, again, education. Trainings again and again and again. Because we can train ourselves. If I promise to train somebody, I can only deliver.
Yeah.
Reception is somebody else
Yeah.
who's receiving it. So
Right.
if I control myself, I can control my nerves, I can let it go because it's a road.
It's a road,
If I
absolutely.
let
And it's
go,
not yours.
it's not mine.
It's a shared
It's
property.
shared
Yeah.
property. And somebody behind me maybe is like more
Isn't it
emergency
hurrying?
than me.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, as Dr. Fatma said, that the people do not give way to the ambulance.
Yes.
But in this today time, don't you think in every second or third car it's an ambulance, because he may be driving with his father who is a diabetic
to reach,
patient,
yeah.
or maybe is asthmatic,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and
You're
needs
supposed to
fresh
be
air to
where-
reach home,
Yes.
or maybe somebody to go to the doctor, to see the doctor on time. And when you have an appointment at 8 o'clock and you reach there at 9 o'clock, then you again
You
take
missed it.
You missed
Yeah.
it.
You've spoiled
So
it. And,
every second car is the ambulance, because for me, why I said that, because I have seen many women, many old people coming off the car, pulling the car on the side and sitting on the side path and breathing.
for fresh
Yeah.
air,
For
yes.
fresh air.
People are
Yeah.
claustrophobic. I mean,
Yes.
it happens to even people in my family as well. And speaking of impatience, I mean, I don't know if it's a Pakistani thing. I don't know if it's a Islamabad or Pindi thing, but it's a thing.
No,
I mean,
it's
even if
it's
you're
a general
stuck-
thing.
Yeah, even if you're stuck in traffic, hundreds of thousands of cars in front of you,
Yes.
you are going to honk.
Yes.
Why? No one's
Yeah.
going to listen to you. No one's going to make way for you. But of course, you're going to do that. One more thing, and after that, we're going to get to why we're talking about all these things in specific. There's a growing, not really growing trend, but a very long prevalent trend of beggars and
Yes.
people randomly walking
Oh,
on
we're
roads.
just talking about it.
Yeah, yeah. So also hoardings. I mean, I feel like if I were a driver, it would be very problematic for me to see a live video of, you know what I'm talking about? You know,
yes,
sometimes videos of ads of clothes and whatnot.
Yes.
I don't think they should be
The
there.
whole big flashy screens
Yes.
and
You
stuff.
See,
Yes.
That's what we call the common
Yeah.
thoughts coming out. I mean,
Yes.
we all have the same criteria of our thinkings.
Right. If I were
I
looking at the
was-
video moving, I'd crash my car in
I,
some
I,
way.
I was,
Yeah.
I was, I was talking the same thing to her. Instead of giving those ads, and especially the flashing screens on the main junction on the roundabouts. Why don't you put the good screen and show the traffic signs and traffic rules and regulation? Or maybe you don't show those things on the road, because if I'm looking at it, as you just said, I'll bump in the car. I'll bump in the car.
Yeah, anything that is very catchy and very colorful and very flashy, of course, you're going to catch, right? You're supposed to, you tend to, even though your human mind works in a way where you see something that is really, really good, you really want to have a look, right? So I think that's really bad. And talking about that, we have small screens in our cars all along. Everyone has that, right? And everyone's driving with the screen right in front of them. And now we have gadgets like, phone holders, right? And it's right on top of your screen, so you can't even, you're just looking at your road and you're still driving and you're still connecting with people and stuff. So I think that's like, one should, I would really appreciate how they actually put up a fine for this helmet thingy. So why don't they put up fines for, phone use? Why? Because I see people using it over and over again.
It's a thing now. You can't smoke while driving, or, you can't use your phone while driving as well.
You can't, but who's doing it?
How many people knows about it?
Exactly.
And who's doing it? Yeah. The law's there. It's implemented already, right? But who's following it?
Not really. I mean, also it's the individual responsibility that we're talking about. Then the screens you were talking about that we've put in the cars, there was a reason of creating them. I mean, they're to get access to the rear camera of your car.
The
but now
navigation
we're watching stuff while we're
driving. We're putting cartoons for kids to be, you need peace of mind, so you need someone to watch cartoon there.
Right. So here's the thing. So my purpose of saying, talking about zebra crossing, talking about beggars and, bikers just getting in, this is the prevalent condition or the status of our traffic sense, our civic sense. Are we ready for opening our doors to foreigners to come in as tourists?
We are ready, but we need to work a lot on this.
Like how?
It's because, we do talk about the tourism. We do talk about the tourism in Pakistan. What have we done for the tourism so far?
Built places?
Built places. Make your roads. Because if you don't go, anywhere. You just take an example of foreigners. You calling the foreigners to come down to your country, and I remember when there was really foreigners coming from everywhere, and they used to stay in our hotels where I used to work. And there were German coming up and Chinese coming up, and do you think they will walk in the car? No, they need a walking road. They need safety on the roads.
Of course.
We don't have a footpath, we don't have a pedestrian paths to walk, we don't have the safety in the markets. You go in one of the market in Islamabad or anywhere, the parking is filled with cars, hosh-posh style. They don't follow anywhere,
cafes,
anywhere, and you don't have the place to walk out and walk in. Even that, and then once you are there, like we were talking about the beggars, once they are there buying something and the beggar stands there, knock, knock, knock. Excuse me, yes, whatever they say. If we start with one thing, we start making our road plans.
Let's talk about solutions.
We talk to the contractors, those who build the roads. None of the contractors should be given the authority or the license to build the road unless he does not give you the road map properly with all the safety precautions is given there. And it's not only that we do not have the small roads or lines on the road and the traffic signals. Our road should have drainage system.
Yes, of course.
When it's a rain, we drive on the zero speed because there is a water.
We're blessed in Islam.
Yes, Islamabad is comparatively blessed.
Yeah, but if you go down, I can tell you, the China Chowk, the underpass, it's filled with water. It's blocked. It's Islamabad, right? But if you go to the F7, F6, in the market, you cross with anywhere where you have a little ditch in there, the water is blocked there.
But that's part of the road,
our drains are blocked. So that means the drain is small. So it is part of the road construction. We should have enough huge drains on the side that the water should flow down. It should not be floating on the road. It should not be there. The people should drive safely. Then
schooling at an early age.
And then the markets, basic parking. We built huge mall and there is no parking. When we do the parking, all those shopkeepers, they display their all goods out in the parking lot, which is supposed to be the parking. And the parking, and if I have to park my car, I have to park on the road. So I'm taking already 4 feet off the road.
Which is again creating a mess on the road.
Creating mess on the road. So that shouldn't be allowed. And it should not be allowed at all.
I agree.
And they should be punished. Those shopkeepers should be punished. Those, the builders should be given
Architects,
authority,
yes.
architect, that okay, underground parking, you cannot build it, you don't have enough space, but please have a parking on the site. And there should be something else that I would like to mention here, that we should introduce parking buildings in Islamabad. We do not.
We do.
Yeah.
I think we're
Yeah.
really far away from that.
We're far away from that. We need to have, I mean, if somebody's making a huge building and you will see shop everywhere, shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the people, those who are coming for shopping, where they're going to park their car? Because I'm going to buy a shirt which cost me maybe 3,000 or 5,000 rupees, but my car is 32,000, brother.
Can
And I'm leaving it on the
Yeah,
road.
where you park us, yes.
And somebody's driving V8 or whatever, you're putting 1 crore rupee on the road and going to buy a shirt of 500?
Yes.
I know
Come
it's really
on, I mean,
scary if you
Well,
think
I would
about
Be
it.
say,
serious on
okay,
it.
so I would say, if in case you're talking about the space that people, people will let in for people to sit outside the cafes, right?
Yes.
Or the parking space, the one road parking space that people would say, right? So I think that you should implement the law, giving that little space for an extra passageway for the emergencies, right? Emergency
Absolutely.
ambulances, right? So every road should have a separate path, and it should be there. Like, this is an advice, and I would say this should be everywhere. Not every country. I'm not saying that only Pakistan has this problem, right? A lot of other countries, like really developed countries, they have these issues too. Patients would die in the ambulance, but they can't reach the hospital, right? And by the time they reach, you can't do much about it, right? So I think the biggest point is that implementation of an emergency route. That is like most
Absolutely.
important.
Thank you so much for saying all these things. Thank you so much for being so informative early in the morning as well. We had a lot to learn from you. I'm pretty sure about that for everyone's watching right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is an individual responsibility as well if we are talking about making Pakistan great and, bringing people from all across the world to see how beautiful Pakistan is. It's not just the government that has to play its part. You being a Pakistani citizen, you being able to have access to the roads and, driving your vehicles on the roads, you should be responsible as well. So please let me know if you learned anything from my show. Write me on a Facebook page with the name of Well This Morning. On Twitter, Well This Morning without a G. Daily Motion on YouTube, also Well This Morning. And the repeat, you can catch at 5 past 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, take care. Good morning.